Smooth talking, spouting nonsense. Famous throughout the school. The top student came looking for me. They say you're so sweet-tongued you could make even the most withdrawn person open up. If you can get my little sister to talk, one sentence, $1,000. The top student is still too naive. Crooked ways have their own methods. I stepped up to the girl. Slammed the desk, no explanation, huh? Last night while I was asleep you secretly licked my ABS. The girl's pupils dilated. Her face flushed red. I didn't. I smirked smugly, turned around coolly glancing at the top student. The moment I pulled out the money, the entire classroom fell into a deathly silence. The gloomy girl who always kept her head down in the corner slowly widened her eyes. Her frozen face showed a crack. I didn't. The top student stepped forward. No disgust in his eyes, only utter admiration. I thought he was just joking, but without a word he wired me the money. When it came to earning cash, that legendary cold handsome top student, his hands were trembling too. He grabbed my arm, like he'd seen a lifeline. Big bro, save my little sister please. He said their parents had taken snowy leave to see countless psychologists, domestic and foreign. The answer they got was always the same. The best solution is to find someone her age, to let her feel the joys this age should bring. Snowy leave. Hated anyone outside her family getting. At our age pride runs deep. So I see beauties like Snowy Leaf. No one ever bothers to win over. You just stick to her like glue. For every extra sentence it'll add another 1,000. The top student gripped my hand, like he was seeing his savior. I gripped his hand, eyeing the $1,000, like I was seeing a living Buddha handing out cash. Isn't this just harassing someone? I'm great at that. From childhood to now, in the eyes of teachers, I'm the reincarnation of a buzzing fly. An elementary school to shut me up. My homeroom teacher didn't hesitate to seat me with the deaf kid in class. There was a deaf kid in class. Later, I learned sign language, secretly chatting with my desk mate under the table, like casting jutsu in Naruto. My hands moved so fast it was terrifying. My desk mate caught up in the excitement, nearly cramped their fingers. The teachers called my mom, told her I could talk to stray dogs on the street, told her to take me to a doctor. This job was practically tailor-made for me. Not to mention Snowy Leaf was so beautiful. Snowy Leaf just now only said 3 words, then lowered her head again. She seemed to regret opening her mouth unconsciously, now with her jet black hair facing us. Completely ignored. Willowfinger unwilling walked over. She saw me take the top student's money. Without a word she tried to snatch my phone. Wild Origin, our focus right now should be studying. Stop hanging out with shady people. The top student who she had just called a heartthrob turned around, his gaze calm, returning to normal. Who are you calling shady? Willowfinger was instantly speechless. I brushed her arm away. How had I not noticed before? Willowfinger was such a bully to the weak. Thinker still wanted to say something. The bell for class rang. I skipped back to my seat. That day the top student used his superpowers to get me and Snowy Leaf seated together. Teacher, my little sister is a special student at our school, mainly here to make friends. Wild Origin is perfect for being her friend. The weather was getting hotter. I think our school should install more air conditioners. The teacher fell silent. When I slid over to Snowy Leaf's side, she was still napping on the desk. Willowfinger turned her head from the side, glaring at me, her eyes like they wanted to burn a hole through me. I stared at Snowy Leaf's neck for a whole class period. She was clearly awake. To avoid sitting with me, she didn't even lift her head. How interesting. During the second break, I leaned into her ear whispering, Snowy Leaf, did you know your neck is so pale? Like a duck's neck, makes me wanna bite it. Maybe I got too close. Snowy Leaf flinched, snapped her head up looking at me in panic. I grabbed my phone, pointed it at her face, snapped a pic and sent it to her brother. This doesn't look like an autistic kid. Isn't she pretty interesting? That little expression was livelier than mine. But in the next few classes, I learned just how tough Snowy Leaf was. No matter what I said, she was like a block of wood, unmoving. Until the bell for dismissal rang. I talked myself hoarse but was still thrilled. because no one had ever listened to me talk so much without calling me an idiot. Even if I didn't earn the money, I'd already found a soulmate. I looked at Snowy Leaf. Her pale fingers slowly closed her book. I teased that English class just now. What were you pretending for? Snowy Leaf's fingers froze. She glanced at me, then turned and walked toward the door. I grabbed my bag, hurrying after her. During break, her brother had told me today their driver would take me home. My bag was yanked back. I was pulled back, rolling my eyes. Turning around, Willow Thinker stood behind me, her face dark. She doesn't even care about you. Can't you see that? Wild Origin, can you stop being so shameless? This was the second time today. Even though she was the girl I'd secretly liked for so long, I couldn't stand her insulting me over and over. I yanked my bag back, pushed her shoulder hard. Willow Thinker looked at me in shock. I glared, snapping, "What's wrong with you? When I stick to you, you call me shameless? When I stick to someone else, you still call me shameless? This morning, what did you say? Said I always talk dirty, like some thug." I laughed angrily. I hadn't wanted to settle scores with her. It was her who every day on the way home from school told me dirty stories she saw online, laughing her head off. I thought she was into that stuff. I stayed up all night practicing nonsense talk, just so she'd chat with me a bit, and ended up becoming the smooth-talking simp in school. The smooth-talking simp, so hard to please. Go die wherever you want. I saw Snowy Leaf about to disappear from view, quickly chased after her. "Snowy Leaf, why don't you get me?" I tilted my head, asking her. Of course, Snowy Leaf didn't answer. I turned to look at the convenience store nearby, ordered her to stand still. "Don't move," I was surprised to find. She actually stood still. I circled around her on the ground. "Wait for me, I'm grabbing something, or I'll tell your brother you secretly kissed me." Snowy Leaf looked up at me. This time she wasn't as calm as this morning, but her deep black eyes still stared vaguely at me. When I came out of the convenience store with an ice cream, I immediately saw Snowy Leaf obediently standing by the trash can. I squinted. I thought the girl I liked was supposed to be Willow Thinker, that youthful, vibrant type. How was Snowy Leaf this melancholic, obedient kitten type? So adorable too. I licked my ice cream, thinking. Finally came to a conclusion. I didn't have a type. I was just a sucker for beauty. I shoved the ice cream into her hand. Snowy Leaf didn't hold it, and it fell to the ground with a plop. She walked forward on her own. I picked up the ice cream, quickly catching up, shoved it into her hand again, and it fell again. I got annoyed, "You little brat." I stepped forward, yanking her collar. Snowy Leaf finally lost her calm. She clutched her collar, stepping back, looking at me in panic. I grinned mischievously, handed her the ice cream. She took it and we walked side by side. Snowy Leaf gripped the ice cream tightly, not eating. So I leaned in close, whispering, "No need to be shy. I won't tell anyone. Your tank top is pink, right?" Snowy Leaf snapped the ice cream in half, stuffed it in her mouth, speeding up. When embarrassed, always pretending to be busy. Got water, drink water. Got ice cream, eat ice cream. I watched Snowy Leaf slowly lick the ice cream. Grinned mischievously. Snowy Leaf, did you know ice cream can cool you down? But when it's hot, it's like poking a cow's throat. Snowy Leaf stopped eating. She put the ice cream down, her mouth red from the cold, silently staring at me. Seemed like she really had no way to deal with me. I got a bit awkward. This topic might been a bit gross. I was about to change the subject. Snowy Leaf said her second sentence of the day, "Pig." I was stunned, then overjoyed. That's right. It's a pig's throat. I got it wrong. Snowy Leaf, we have so much in common. You watch those locally short videos too. I thought Autistic. Snowy Leaf didn't go online. Didn't expect her to be a master of the internet. I was over the moon. I'd really found my soulmate. Stepping out of the luxury car, I enthusiastically waved goodbye to the top student, turned around and nearly died of fright. Willow Thinker stood at the stairs, her eyes cold. "Does your mom know you're getting cozy with a sick girl like that?" I handed her the extra shaved ice I'd bought. Willow Thinker's expression softened a bit, reached out to take it, but still kept lecturing me. Someone like Snowy Leaf clearly has mental issues. You think everyone's as patient as me? From childhood, you've annoyed me so much my brain's about to fall out. Hey! I crushed the melted shaved ice and splattered it on her face. She screamed, stepping back. The motion sensor lights on the stairs lit up. Sweet melted ice dripped down Willowthinker's face. She glared at me. Are you insane? I wiped my fingers with a tissue and walked past her, talking about others being sick. I think you're the sickest one. Willowthinker turned around. I'd already turned and climbed the second step. The next day during break, one suggested adding Snowy Leaf on Zalo. She rarely paid attention to me. No, I grabbed my phone and snapped a pic of her. She frowned, waving her hand. I reached to grab the phone she held to her chest. Snowy Leaf panicked as if I was trying to make her my girlfriend. She stepped back in a flash. Well, we were making a scene. Willowthinker tapped my desk. Wild origin. I'm not holding last night against you. My mom's making sweet and sir ribs tonight. Let's go home together after school. I gave up tormenting Snowy Leaf. Snowy Leaf glanced at Willowthinker. She's the one who's sick. Those words from yesterday for some reason. I didn't bother with her. Turned around to see Snowy Leaf already standing up, walking out the classroom door. I took a deep breath, turned and chased after her. Snowy Leaf stood at the classroom door like a fool, standing stiffly. I guess she wanted to avoid me, but didn't know where to go. Her CPU crashed. I found it hilarious. Reached out and poked her. No reaction. She didn't say a word, standing stiffly, until the bell for class rang. Hey, the teacher's coming. I tugged her sleeve. Snowy Leaf stayed motionless. What are you two doing standing here? The music teacher frowned. I looked at wooden Snowy Leaf, then at the music teacher. Teacher, Snowy Leaf has a stomachache. Snowy Leaf's pupils trembled slightly, surprised by my casual lie. The teacher waved, telling me to take her to the infirmary. I'm terrible at singing. Skipping music class was entirely thanks to Snowy Leaf being a good kid in the teacher's eyes. She was like a piece of wood dragged forward by me. As we passed the window, I saw Willowthinker with a dark expression. Snowy Leaf, you've never skipped class, have you? I let go of her hand. The girl's palm was warm. A slight itch ran through my heart. Shamelessly, I slipped my hand back in. She didn't shake me off. I pulled her through the small alley by the school gate, found my favorite diner. The owner cheerfully brought out a bowl of noodles. Brought a friend, huh? Isn't this class time? I grinned. We skipped class to come here. Snowy Leaf's breath hitched. She raised her hand to cover my mouth, panicked, wanting me to swallow those words right there. I couldn't stop laughing. This little treasure, Snowy Leaf, who invented her to be so cute. She's totally my type. I carried to small bowls. You take half, one take half. Our bond won't break. Snowy Leaf frowned at the noodles, silent. I thought she hated me, but she pulled out her phone and handed it to me. I got her meaning. She was saying she had money to buy 2 bowls, but I'd just eaten breakfast. I couldn't finish a big bowl now. I took the chance to grab her phone, added my Zalo. Snowy Leaf's hand froze but didn't stop me. Snowy Leaf ate quietly. Even the most ordinary bowl of noodles, she ate with elegance. Until we finished the noodles, I wiped my mouth, pulled her, and bolted. Snowy Leaf, caught off guard, stumbled after me. Until we ran out of the alley, I turned back. The girl's eyes were startlingly bright. She'd probably never done anything this crazy. Her heart was racing. Even standing falsetto face, I could hear it. She pulled me, wanting to go back. Her gaze firm. I shook off her hand. We already skipped paying. Going back would be embarrassing. Snowy Leaf pursed her lips, silently staring at me. She wasn't angry either. Her eyes full of helplessness and indulgence, and a steadfast hold on her principles. I grinned. Fine, let's go back. You have to apologize to the owner. We went to pay and I'd come back. Snowy Leaf stood at the alley entrance, hesitated for 5 minutes, finally gave and grabbed my hand and went back. The owner was wiping tables. Saw us standing at the door like 2 statues, stunned. I pushed her. Go on, say it. Snowy Leaf's palms were sweaty, gripping my hand till it turned red. Her ears blushing terribly too. I thought she'd give up, but the next second, I heard Snowy Leaf's cool, exclusive voice, stammering, sorry sir, we're here to pay. The owner was stunned. He grabbed a rag to wipe his hands. looked at me bewildered. What's this? I couldn't hold it in, laughing till I doubled over. The owner and I are on Zalo. I always pay by transfer. Even the homeroom teacher. I'd already asked for Snowy Leaf's leave, but she's so gullible. She believed everything I said. Snowy Leaf was a bit unhappy. Her lips moved. Without a word, she turned and left. I chased after her, babbling, "Oh, I was wrong. I just wanted you to say a few more words. Snowy Leaf, your voice is so nice. Talk more from now on." Snowy Leaf, repeat after me. "Wild Origin is so handsome. I like Wild Origin." Snowy Leaf's ears got redder. She suddenly stopped. I wasn't ready and bumped into her back. She turned and looked at me for 2 seconds. Softly said 3 words, "No sense of limits." I burst out laughing. "Snowy Leaf, you're so good at talking. You're clearly trying to call me shameless like Willow Thinker, but you said it so elegantly." Even though she said that, I was still laughing happily. Maybe in her whole life, she'd never met a guy as thick-skinned as me. Snowy Leaf decisively ignored me. Sulking, she kept walking forward. That evening, the top student sent me $10,000. Snowy talked at home today. She asked why Dad's shoes were so ugly. "Brother Wild, you're our family's lucky star." I sprawled on my bed, imagining Snowy Leaf frowning. So cute, it's unfair. I grabbed my phone to text Snowy Leaf, but the phone rang right then. It was Willow Thinker again. I hung up annoyed. After I blocked her number and Zalo, she started using her mom's phone to call me. Willow Thinker and I live across from each other. Her mom's always been good to me. Her mom and mine are really close. No matter how reckless I am, I can't block an adult's number. I rubbed my head frustrated, tossed the phone aside. What's wrong with Willow Thinker? From childhood, I've been trailing after her. She never called me once. It was always me bothering her. I opened my chat with Willow Thinker. It's basically me talking to myself. After hundreds of messages, she'd arrogantly reply with 1 or 2. I turned back, saw a message Snowy Leaf sent me. I thought she'd be as cold as when we first met. But since adding her on Zalo, every message I sent Snowy Leaf replied, even if just 1 or 2 simple words. But I felt an emotional value I'd never experienced. She even stole my stickers to reply. Later, I sent her some thuggish stickers, and she stopped stealing them. Maybe the autistic kid. Snowy Leaf just doesn't like talking. Online, she's still super lively morning. I grinned, greeting her. The cool girl didn't say anything, just glanced up at me. I felt something was off. Was she a bit too quiet today? The next second, I saw breakfast on my desk. "You brought this for me?" I asked excitedly. Snowy Leaf nodded, then shook her head. My brother, she was still so sparing with words. But I understood. "Then thank your brother for me. These soup dumplings are hard to get." I ate till my mouth was greasy. Snowy Leaf handed me a tissue. Willow Thinker walked over, glaring at me annoyed. "How long are you gonna keep making a scene? Not answering calls, not replying to messages. We're so close, but you're like a rabbit, impossible to catch." I tucked the dumplings away. "If you know I don't want to see you, then stop showing up in front of me." Willow Thinker was so mad her chest heaved. "You don't really think a rich girl like her would ever notice you, do you?" I stopped chewing the dumpling. Snowy Leaf's hand reaching for a tissue froze too. She looked up coldly, staring at Willow Thinker. I slammed the desk and stood up. "Willow Thinker, we're still students. Your mind's too filthy. All about romance. Is this how a student should act? As classmates, you don't help your friends, fine, but you're here sowing discord." Willow Thinker opened her mouth. I cut her off. "Or maybe you're in love, so your head's full of those thoughts." Willow Thinker was furious. "Wild Origin, I'm saying this because I see you as a good friend. Girls like Snowy Leaf from families like hers, what kind of guy would they want?" She didn't finish. The homeroom teacher's cold voice came from behind Willow Thinker. "Come to my office." I nearly laughed to death, but turned around and saw Snowy Leaf staring at me, her eyes deep. Before I could speak, she pursed her lips and turned away. I rubbed my forehead. "All right, the little princess is mad again. You don't really need help." I said something wrong. "It's me, I need your help. Let me copy your homework." Snowy Leaf ignored me. I tugged her sleeve, shaking it. That abstract video you shared yesterday. I can't find it anymore. Send it to me again. She still ignored me. I sighed resigned and slumped on the desk. Every 2 minutes my phone buzzed. I pulled it out from the desk drawer. It was a transfer from Snowy Leaf. Keep helping me, I have money. Don't talk to her. I hate girls like that. This demanding little kitten even knows how to use her superpowers. Who wouldn't melt? I clutched my heart, accepted the money without a word. The top student said he wanted to treat me to dinner. Said his parents wanted to thank me in person. Snowy Leaf has been talking more at home lately. Even if it's just short phrases, it's given them hope. I waved it off, it's no big deal. Honestly, Snowy Leaf and normal people are still very different. I say 100 sentences. Her replying with 2 or 3 is already great. As summer break approached, I'd made a decent chunk of cash lately. Planned to travel abroad for my birthday during the break. A burning gaze came from the side. I turned around. Snowy Leaf was staring at my phone. I was looking at travel destinations. Seeing her interest, I casually opened one. Snowy Leaf. Where do you like to go? She didn't say anything. Gently withdrew her gaze. I didn't expect her to respond. But then, Snowy Leaf's soft voice came from above. You're going traveling for summer break. Yeah, wanna go to Korea. I casually invited, come along. Snowy Leaf went quiet again. I swung my legs. Switched to the next video. Desk mate. Turn around, excitedly sharing with me the places they went in Korea last year. Snowy Leaf seemed to say something, but it was too quick. I didn't catch it. I turned around. She'd already slumped on the desk, silent. She was mad again. Lately, Snowy Leaf's been getting mad for no reason. I didn't know what was up with her. Poking her twice, got no response. So I just did my own thing. Soon it was time to leave. By the time I packed my bag and looked up, Snowy Leaf had already packed hers and was at the classroom door. She stood outside the classroom, the sunset glowing on her profile. I knew she was waiting for me. I hurried up, thinking I'd ask her on the way why she was mad today. The next second, Willow Thinker suddenly appeared in front of me, startling me. What are you doing now? I frowned at her. Willow Thinker casually tossed over a keychain. Your mom called, no one answered. Told me to tell you next week. You're staying at my place, your parents are busy. I took a deep breath. Can't I just order takeout? Looking up, Snowy Leaf was gone. I rubbed my head, annoyed, and chased outside, only to see Snowy Leaf had left. I roughly understood why Snowy Leaf was mad. She seemed to have a special possessiveness over me. It didn't feel like love, more like a favorite toy, not letting anyone else near. I talked to my desk mate, she gets mad. I talked to Willow Thinker, she gets madder. But I didn't find her unreasonable. I thought it was insanely cute. Possessiveness isn't that the start of liking someone. I kicked my feet, walking home bored. Lately, I'd gotten used to riding in Snowy Leaf's car. Suddenly walking home like normal, my feet actually hurt a bit. A rustling sound came from behind. I turned, but there was nothing. I rubbed the goosebumps on my arm. Not some thugs eyeing me, right? I took 2 more steps. The faint sound of footsteps followed. I spun around suddenly, saw Snowy Leaf standing stiffly, a glint of a smile in the corner of my eye. I ran toward her. Snowy Leaf stood still like she wanted to hide, but there wasn't even a trash can around, so she stayed put. Snowy Leaf's CPU crashed again. Snowy Leaf, are you stalking me? She glanced lightly at my face, walked beside me silent. Where's your car? Took my brother home. Then why didn't you go home? She went quiet again. I grinned, leaning close. Can't bear to leave me. Snowy Leaf didn't speak. Her steps wobbled a bit, almost tripped by my dirty talk. My place has lots of rooms. Chattering all the way to my building. Snowy Leaf, who'd been quiet, suddenly spoke. Stay at my place. I froze. Stared at her dumbly. What did you say? Her eyes seemed to sparkle like stars. She stared at me. Didn't repeat herself. I reacted instantly. She'd heard Willow Thinker say my parents were away, and I'd be staying at her place temporarily. I thought I'd probably want to stay at her place. Snowy Leaf's expression seemed to lighten. She nodded. I kicked a pebble by her feet. Do you like me or something? A flash of panic crossed Snowy Leaf's face. Her long hair hid her expression. She lowered her head too fast. I couldn't see anything clearly. I just treated it like teasing her. Grinned mischievously, waved at her all right. Go home. It's an honor to be escorted by the young lady. Watching Snowy Leaf disappear from view, I turned to head home. But my parents coming from the opposite direction startled me. Weren't you guys on a business trip? My mom's face was grim. Grandma's sick. Mom's already asked your teacher for leave. You've got a week till summer break anyway. We're going straight to Grandma's. Grandma's place isn't nearby, meaning I couldn't go to school tomorrow morning. So I grabbed my phone to text Snowy Leaf, turned and went with my parents to Grandma's. Late at night quiet. I scrolled through my phone. No reply from Snowy Leaf. I frowned checking our chat history. She's not still mad, is she? The signal in the village was bad. The messages I sent her all had red exclamation marks. Fumbling till late, I only sent 3 messages, and Snowy Leaf still didn't reply. I sighed helplessly, tossed the phone aside. But on the 3rd night, in the dead of night, a pebble hit my window. I froze instinctively going to the window. Couldn't help but widen my eyes. Under the window stood a cool girl. The moonlight's silver glow fell on her, casting a tall, slender shadow. I hurried downstairs. Snowy Leaf stood among the wild grass in the countryside, her arms dotted with mosquito bites, occasionally raising a hand to swat lightly, her movement stiff like a delicate doll. I found it funny. What are you doing here? I didn't expect her to answer, but she looked into my eyes. Seriously said, couldn't reach you. I was stunned. Didn't I message you? Phone got stolen. She pursed her lips, a flicker of regret in her eyes. That day on the way home it got pickpocketed. I found it a bit funny. Probably the first time the young lady walked a dark road and ran into a thief. How'd you find this place? Asked a friend. I found it odd. Someone like Snowy Leaf, going around asking people. The more I thought, the funnier it got. A smile crept into the corners of my eyes. Snowy Leaf got a bit flustered by my laughter. She said, I thought you were mad. I froze. Mad about what? She didn't answer my question. It was rare to see Snowy Leaf talk so much. I just teased her like a kitten. Snowy Leaf, your little mouth's been chattering today. Want a kiss? She widened her eyes, like she was scolding me for interrupting. Or maybe she didn't expect I'd say something so shameless. But her ears turned bright red. You asked if I couldn't bear to leave you. I didn't respond. You got mad. Under the moonlight, the girl's expression was especially serious. Yeah, I can't bear to leave you. I was stunned listening to her ask and answer herself. This kid's not gone crazy, has she? She seemed very dissatisfied with my reaction. Her brows furrowed deeper. And you? Can you bear to leave me? I suddenly realized. Snowy Leaf thought that night when we parted. I asked her that question. She didn't answer me, so I got mad and ignored her. That's why she rushed here. Can't bear or not? What kind of weird question is that? Did I even ask that? My eyes lit up. Snowy Leaf, are you saying you like me? Now you're asking if I like you. Snowy Leaf froze. Then I saw her blush from her neck to her ears. She said, yeah. I didn't expect her to be so straightforward, so freaking adorable. I couldn't help but want to pull her into my arms and squish her. In fact, I did just that. I'm a guy bold enough to act reckless anyway. Snowy Leaf, can I touch you? I grinned mischievously. Snowy Leaf's voice carried a hint of helplessness. You're already touching. Feeling the soft waist under my palm, I took a deep breath. Such a beauty, and am touching her. I asked, how'd you get here? She turned to look not far away. I was startled, only then noticing the driver who often drove us was parked at the village entrance, his whole body covered in mosquito bites, slapping them furiously. My mouth twitched. You go back first. They'll be back tomorrow. He nodded, pushed my hand off her waist. See you tomorrow. I was overjoyed. Before, Snowy Leaf's goodbyes were just silence, turning and leaving. Now she's saying see you tomorrow. Love is so great. I didn't expect. The first person I'd see when I got back wasn't Snowy Leaf, but Willow Thinker. She blocked my door. Where have you been these days? I didn't bother with her. My parents, on the other hand, warmly greeted her. Think her little wild grandma's not well. We went back to the countryside. You're both about to have summer break, right? No need for Wild Origin to go to school these days. Any textbooks can you help bring them? Willow Thinker was always well behaved in front of my parents. I didn't bother with her fake act. Grabbed my suitcase and went inside. As soon as I got home, my phone rang. I checked it. It was Snowy Leaf. She said she was downstairs, Mom, in taking out the trash. I excitedly grabbed the trash bag and ran downstairs. Snowy Leaf stood by my building's trash can, like a little kitten abandoned by its owner. I swallowed hard. Damn, how can someone be this beautiful? And this beautiful person is my girlfriend. Who gets this? My heart bubbled with pink. I rushed over. Snowy Leaf turned around. I quickly pulled her into my arms. She froze in the hug. Then a smile bloomed in her eyes. Snowy Leaf wasn't used to smiling. She tried pulling the corners of her mouth, only managing a somewhat gentle expression. I didn't mind. Our Snowy Leaf is so beautiful. Even picking her nose would be gorgeous. I pulled her to chat, rambled about everything that happened at Grandma's. Like before, Snowy Leaf listened quietly, nodding occasionally. She was still so quiet, but her obedient demeanor made me sweet and happy. Checking the time, it was about right. I reluctantly said goodbye, leaned down to kiss her cheek, satisfied, watching Snowy Leaf turn into a boiled shrimp. I mischievously smacked her but am heading up. Teasing Snowy Leaf is so fun, but at the stairs I nearly died of fright. Willow Thinker's face was dark. Behind her were my parents. Snowy Leaf stood not far away. Willow Thinker's voice, so low only we could hear. Wild Origin, your love is so cheap. You can give it to someone else so fast. I coldly looked at her. What else? Hang myself on your rotten tree. My parents always knew I liked Willow Thinker. Willow Thinker leaned over, smiling at my mom, and it's that girl. She seduced Wild Origin into dating early. I widened my eyes. My mom looked at Snowy Leaf, who was pale, but bravely stepped forward. Frowned. Dating early? Isn't little Wild grown up already? What is that girl not grown up? I grinned mischievously. Quickly answered, she's only a month younger than me. She's grown up. My mom sighed in relief, looked at Snowy Leaf standing before us, satisfied. Then what's the problem? Willow Thinker couldn't believe it, Auntie. I quietly looked at her. Forgot to tell her the reason my mom liked her was because my mom didn't show it. In front of Snowy Leaf, Willow Thinker was completely outclassed. Snowy Leaf stood behind me, politely greeted my parents. Hello, Uncle. Hello, Auntie. My mom was thrilled, winked at me. So pretty. Willow Thinker clenched her fists. Her unwillingness burned away all her reason. Auntie, she's sick. She's got mental issues. She's autistic. Are you sure you want Wild Origin with her? The air went completely silent. Snowy Leaf's face paled instantly. Blood rushed to my head. Without a word, I stepped forward, slapped Willow Thinker across the face. I've wanted to do this for a long time. Since the first time you called me shameless. Since the first time you said Snowy Leaf was sick. I think you're the sick one. Willow Thinker looked up, her cheek red and swollen. No one at the scene spoke up for her. She gritted her teeth in anger, turned and went back to her place. Snowy Leaf, pale-faced, looked at me a bit flustered. I stood in front of her, about to defend her, but she stepped forward, bowed deeply. Snowy Leaf's voice trembled, even stammered a bit. Uncle, Auntie, my illness is almost healed. My condition doesn't hurt others. I really like Wild Origin. It'll get better. My eyes burned. My parents didn't say anything more. Snowy Leaf pale left. I patted her shoulder lightly, took the chance to kiss her again, satisfied watching Snowy Leaf turn into a boiled shrimp. It's fine, I'll handle my parents. I turned back. My mom sat in the living room, rubbing her forehead. Little Wild, it's not that we don't approve. Dating a normal person would be much happier than someone with mental issues. She tried to say it delicately. I knew she just wanted the best for me. I nodded. I like her mom. When she met me, she could barely talk. Look, today she said so much to you guys. I believe she'll get better. My mom nodded, didn't say anything more. I didn't expect Snowy Leaf to act so fast. That evening she texted me, "Tomorrow I'll pick you up with the driver. Can you come to my place for dinner? My parents want to meet you." In the car, I nervously gripped Snowy Leaf's hand, leaving red marks. Snowy Leaf placed her hand on my wrist. She didn't know how to comfort people. Just said, "You're great. Everyone will like you." In a daze, I suddenly remembered her serious face, coldly saying to me, "No sense of limits." For some reason, I wasn't nervous anymore. I'd imagined so many scenarios, like Snowy Leaf's parents being haughty, coldly glancing at me, while Snowy Leaf wasn't looking, her mom throwing a check in my face. "Stay away from my daughter." But when the car pulled into the courtyard, I was still shocked. Snowy Leaf's parents stood into rows, with the household staff dressed in bright red, like they were attending a wedding. The top student stood in the middle, holding a huge banner. "Welcome to our savior, Mr. Wild Origin. Humble abode, humble abode." My mouth twitched. A mansion this grand, decorated so luxuriously, and you call it a humble abode? Snowy Leaf's mom grabbed my arm, tears streaming down her face, almost kneeling. "Little Wild, you must stay good with our Snowy. You don't know. These years I've found so many psychologists for her, so many friends, boys or girls. Those kids couldn't last a week with Snowy. Only you." She paused. "A resilient, persistent, and interesting guy like you could open Snowy's heart." My mouth twitched. "Auntie, you meant to say a shameless guy like me could open her heart, right?" But I wasn't flustered. This romance, after all, I really did steal it. Not long after, Willow Thinker moved away. I was chatting with Snowy Leaf on the phone. While heading out, my dad told me to take out the trash, but as I opened the door, I ran into Willow Thinker moving her stuff. I was a bit stunned. She seemed to have lost a lot of weight. Her gaze lingered on my face for a few seconds, a sadness in her eyes I couldn't read. I carried the trash downstairs. Her voice suddenly came from behind Wild Origin. I turned around. Willow Thinker stood on the stairs. Like all the times I admired her, lofty and proud, but somehow different. She lowered her head slightly. Her voice choked. "I'm sorry if I defaced my heart sooner. If I had used those hurtful words to insult you, would you still like me?" I gave her a smile, shook my head at her, turned and kept going downstairs. On the phone, Snowy Leaf's voice dropped a few tones. "You promised me you wouldn't talk to her." I grinned. I didn't say a word, but she took a deep breath. "You definitely shook your head. How'd she know that? She's even keeping tabs on this." I widened my eyes. Princess Leaf's been a bit too spoiled lately. So clingy. I suddenly remembered not long after we became desk mates, she sent me some money, told me to stop talking to Willow Thinker. Back then she barely paid attention to me, but she was already staking her claim. "Snowy Leaf, when did you start liking me?" I thought she wouldn't answer this question, but after 2 seconds of silence, her voice soft with a hint of a smile. "From the first glance when I looked up at you." The sunlight hit the desk. I suddenly wanted to open my mouth and talk to you. The whole story ends. Thanks for reading.